So first I'm just going to ask you some basic questions about tennis. So when and why did you become interested in tennis?
I think around age 4, right before I went to kindergarten and nursery school, my dad got me into it because he was always really interested in it. It was always his favorite sport, what he played recreationally, and he worked with a lot of players, 2 in Ukraine, which is where I'm from, and so he always just kind of wanted me to start playing it. So took me to my first few practices with the father of one of his players, who was a professional coach, and so that's kind of how it started out. I still remember I showed up to my first few practices in jeans and like a normal shirt because I didn't have anything to wear. It was pretty cute.
Have you traveled abroad or anything to play tennis?
Dad actually took me around a bunch of places, tournaments, especially like the 4 Grand Slams, and then to a few camps internationally too. One of them was in New York City, which is one of the reasons that I moved, but another was in the south of France by Nice, which was run by Serena Williams as coach, and is like by far the most prestigious and intensive of the ones that I've done.
What was it like playing there?
It was very intensive. It was, I think, around 4 hours a day plus an extra 4 hours of fitness. That was 5 days a week. Then we had 4 days a week. Then we have 2 half days and 1 off day.
And do you have a favorite memory from playing in France?
Maybe not playing, but the first night I got there, my first time, I walk into my room and I realized that I'm actually rooming with one of my friends from New York, who we've traveled together to tournaments in Florida and things like that. And I didn't know that I was going to be in his room, but I walked in on the first day and I was like, oh, wow, you're here. And that was actually really nice because over those few weeks, we got a lot closer than we have ever been in the U.S., and that's now a very close and treasured friendship.
How has tennis affected your social life overall, would you say?
It's been both good and bad. Good in the way that I just said, where I've kind of found a lot of my current friends and a lot of some of my better friends through tennis, but at the same time, all my friends at school and those relationships have really suffered because for a while, actually, especially as soon as I got into more professional playing and like really high level junior playing, like tennis and school took up the vast majority of almost all my days. So I didn't really have that much time except for some hours on the weekends to spend with my friends.
So you got into it a little bit, but what's it like balancing school, tennis, and your social life, like on a day-to-day, weekday basis?
It's difficult because, out of your schoolwork, athletics, and friends, you can really only fit 2 and still sleep enough to be a sane person. Because, if you're in school from 8 to 3, and then you have sports and homework, sports until 8 and homework for the rest of the day, you don't have any time pretty much to spend with your friends, which is one of the things that I really regret about spending as much time as I did playing is I really didn't get to spend that many hours with my friends, especially in like my sophomore and junior years of high school, which are like the years when you really just want to get out and explore and make really good connections in a place like New York City too. Athletics is the kind of extracurricular that takes up everything outside of school pretty much. It's not like a club where you spend a few hours after school doing it and then you're free to do any other thing you want. It's something that is, if you pick it as an extracurricular, you have to stick with that for pretty much all of your free time. And I really do wish that I got the chance to maybe work a little bit, explore some other areas, join a few clubs, spend, again, more time with meeting new people, those kinds of things.
Are there any things in specific that help you get more of a balance between tennis and sleep and social life and everything? Any constants that help you get a routine?
It is just basically establishing a routine that helps. As soon as you know where and when you're going to the gym or to the courts after school, Like you kind of get into a groove of getting it done really quickly, getting there quickly, doing it, and then moving on to the point where you do open up a little bit more free time for yourself. As long as you know exactly what you're doing and how you're doing it, you end up doing it a little bit quicker.